Hi, I'm Jacqueline Hickman, and today we will be reading Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll. Now, who do you think Ricky is? This guy? Now, why do you think he's Ricky? Because he's not round like all the others, yes. And while we go out throughout the story, I want you guys to keep a lookout for this little ladybug right here. This is written by Mr. J, illustrated by Erin Wozniak. Ricky the Rock That Couldn't Roll. Over the lake and out past the bay was a green grassy hill where the rocks came to play. They would race to the top to take in the view, then roll their way down the way rocks love to do. There was Kip, Pip, and Chester, and Marvin the boulder. Ignatius played too, though he was much older, and a group called the Pebbles never ever sat still, zigzagging their way up and over the hill. Here's Kip, Pip, Chester, and Ignatius, and Marvin. And of course, here are the Pebbles. And there's the little ladybug. Kai was a meteorite and not from this planet, and Maya was lava, but taken for granite. Stu was the smart one, Parker the clown, and grumpy old Herbert rolled around with a frown. Gabby was sassy, Leslie had flair, Emma was giggly, and Hud had black hair. But the one trait that seemed to be shared by them all was that every walk was shaped like a ball, and because they were round, they could easily roll through the grass past the lake and up over the knoll. Except for poor Ricky, who quietly sat. You see, Rick couldn't roll because one side was flat. He goes, what part of this was supposed to be fun? His friends didn't get it. Come roll, they chant. So Ricky tried, but he replied, I'm sorry, I can't. Aw, poor Ricky. But the rocks were determined. They were sure they could solve Ricky's flat-sided problem and would help him revolve. So Marvin the boulder, with his impressive physique, carried Rick all the way up to the hill's grassy peak. Then he pushed him downhill, yelling, Keep rolling, kid! But Ricky didn't roll. He just kind of slid. This feels like a bad idea. And look at the little ladybug holding on. Well, the rocks weren't done, not by a mile. Surely this next time would get Rick to smile. They stuck rubber balls all over Rick, using big gobs of glue to get them to stick. They were very proud of themselves. This will work, they announced. But Ricky still couldn't roll. Now he just sort of bounced. No good, no good, no good, Ricky yelled. Well, they pushed and they pulled, trying every which way to get Rick to roll. But by the end of the day, nothing had worked, just like Rick expected. And he ended up feeling depressed and dejected. It's no use, Ricky sighed. There just isn't a way. So I'll sit off to the side and watch you all play. Aww. But his friends wouldn't quit. We're here for you, brother, and we'll get you to roll, one way or another. So they pondered and thought, each straining their brains, till they looked up and saw it was starting to rain. And that's when it hit the smart stone named Stu. Eureka! He shouted. I know just what to do. He explained to them how they would get Rick to tumble. We plan My plan is pure genius. Stu wasn't too humble. So they carried our hero down the road about a mile to the lake where they gathered up mud they could pile on the flat side of Rick, creating a mound that they shaped smooth and sculptured until it was round. Right here. Then, after the rain, with the sun in the sky, they left him to bake till the mud was all dry. They gathered up vines and one colorful feather that they wrapped all around Rick to keep him together. When the last knot was tied and the work was all done, the only step left was for Rick to have fun. They stood back and watched, feeling nervous and tense, as Rick breathed in deep with increasing suspense. He moved slowly at first, testing out his new mold, and then, for the first time, do you think he rolls? Do you think he gets to roll? For the first time, Ricky the Rock rolled. Aww. So Bria the ladybug, who'd been there from the start, felt a surge of pure joy swell up in her heart. She thought as she watched her friends play on the hill that there's always a way if there's always a will. And she said to herself as Ricky rolled down the slope, when you're surrounded by love, you will always have hope. The end. Yay, Ricky rolled!